Welcome back, everyone, to Punny Plays a Stout Minstrel. We are back here in Mordor, where last time we finished off Season 1 by witnessing the fall of the Black Gates. And now we're about to start Season 2, which is the primary focus of this series, because the plan of this series was to experience the Stout Axe storylines from the point of view of a stout axe. And that's what we are going to be starting today as we head into the Black Book of Mordor here with Gandalf, though we will also be doing any side storylines that definitely involve the stout axes, because the stout axes are going to be our primary focus for this series.
Sauron has been defeated, but the evil he stirred to wakefulness persists.
Who can say what lies hidden beneath the shroud that covers Gorgoroth, beyond the wreckage of the Black Gate? I've got one or two ideas, unfortunately. The Dark Lord was a master of foul sorceries, and from his height of Barad-dûr he set many terrible plans into motion. I cannot believe that every one of them ended when he did. Well, true. There were a couple involving the ring rays, which I'm sure came to naught after the destruction of the ring, but yeah, some of the Gurzel might have survived. Adventurers have already begun taking hesitant steps through the ruins of the gate. Let us join them, and I will take their measure. The dangers that await in Mordor will be too great for some of them, I warrant. Yes, Mordor is very definitely a tough place to visit. Ever heard the phrase, it's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there? Let's just say with Mordor, you could leave out the first clause. Hello there, Mithrandir.
Do these adventurers think the fall of Sauron emptied his land of evil?
It's as I thought. Some few of these adventurers are made of stern stuff, but most of them are not prepared for the dangers that await them. Do they think the fall of Sauron has emptied his lands of evil? Aye, they believe none remain to guard his treasures, and they hope to have the pickings of his coffers. But I must urge caution. Many of the artifacts that might be found within Mordor will be wholly evil, or corrupted beyond any use by good folk. Most of these adventurers do not know the first thing about stealing with such fell entrapments. Speak with them, Pinevere, and try to dissuade them from such hasty courses, or at least give them these warnings, so that they will not blunder into the fates unawares. After they're duly warned, you should journey ahead and see what foes await to us in Udun. Look too for the forges where the weapons with Sauron's equipped his armies were made. Well, I should have no trouble finding those forges. Unfortunately, I've worked at a couple of them myself. Oh, hello there. You don't look like an adventurer. Uh, You look like a scholar. That's what you look like.
I am a scholar from the Houses of Law in Minas Tirith.
Well,
Knowledge awaits us.
I guess I called that one. Yes, I know you, Pinebeard, or rather, I've heard tales, the many great deeds you have performed over there in Moria, and to a scholar that feels like much the same thing. My name is Covadil, and I'm a scholar from the Houses of Lore in Minas Tirith. My master sent me to acquire artifacts and knowledge that might be found in Osgiliath following its recapture, but that seemed a bit on the dull side for me. Raking through the ruins of Osgiliath seemed dull, so you came to Mordor? Boy, you have a strange definition of excitement, that's for sure. I may have gotten a little carried away. That's the understatement of the week. But I challenge you to describe a more likely place to find artifacts and knowledge than the land of Mordor, which has remained closed to us for so long. You can't do it, can you? Nay, I thought so. That's why I asked the question. Because you knew the answer? Well, anyway, Mithrandir warns that things can be rather dangerous in there. Oh, yes, I will not take anything that we find in this place for granted. Physically, I'll take it, of course. Pick it up and carry it gently and carefully so that to protect anyone else from harm, and bring it back to the houses of lore for study. And thank you for the warning. Very useful things to have warnings. Folk are always giving me warnings, and for some reason or another, I think it makes them feel better. She's gonna die, isn't she? Hello there. Well, now she looks like she can be prepared for battle.
Can Sauron truly be gone from Mordor?
Well, that's an interesting question. I respect the warning of Mithrandir, but I do not need it, for I am Harthaline, and this is not my first adventure into the Black Land. I fought at the side of the High King Gilgalad during the Battle of Dargurlad, and I know well the subtleties of Mordor. Okay, so you knew Mordor when it was intact. Okay, yes, fine. I think you know the dangers then. And I know well the subtleties of Mordor. Yes, many of my friends fell before the Black Gate, and many others met their ends in the slopes of Druin. I wish to pay my respects to those who fell long ago, and I have one other purpose beyond that. I have returned to Mordor with an abundance of caution, for I disbelieve that Sauron can truly be gone. Now that's someone who has a proper dose of doubt. Yes. Have we not heard this tale before? I desire to see proof with my own eyes, for he's a master of trickery and deceit, and has escaped death time and again. What is different now? You've got a decent point there. But he at least slumbers, that's for sure. Anyway, I welcome your assistance, Pinebeater. We will need to rely upon our friends when we journey into the realm of Sauron, whether he be truly dead or no. Alright. You certainly have a proper dose of caution. Well, now this man, yeah, he's dressed as a guard. 7 stars here. It sounds like a Gondorian thing.
The Vale of Udun lies ahead, and its treasures are ready for the taking.
This does not sound good. Hail, friend, and welcome to Cirith Gogor. The Vale of Udun lies ahead, beyond Cirith Gogor, and all its attendant treasures are ready for the taking. Well, won't you contend with orcs and trolls, maybe some of the nastier of the stout axes? I am Rogreen, and a soldier of Gondor. I fought on the Pelennor and before the Black Gate, and now I'm prepared to seize the spoils of war from the clutches of the vile orcs who fought for Sauron. They say that Sauron's dead, and I believe it! Why don't you have a conversation with that elf there? See if you could come up to a consensus on this matter. I was fighting at the base of one of the Slag Hills when the mountain of fire shook all of Mordor, and I felt that blast in my very bones. The Dark Lord was much nearer to the mountain than that, perhaps on the very slope of it, and not even he could survive that, could he? No, I think not. You do realize that 2 hobbits were right on that slope and they survived it? I guess you didn't hear about that. It is only right that Gondor reaps the reward of victory. Anyway, Mithrandir has a warning about the artifacts that they could be very dangerous. I know dark magic when I see it, and I will not go near anything of that sort. No! I want gold and silver and gems. Those are the spoils that I understand, and those are the spoils I seek. The wizard need not worry about my account. I can take care of myself. Alright, he's a decent enough fighter probably if he's a veteran of the Pelennor Fields and of that, and of the Blackgate. Alright, so I'll get that he probably has a decent amount of valor. But who knows what else is going on in there. But yeah, he's valorous enough. I'll just say that. The problem is that not all those treasures are going to be unguarded. Now, Anoth.
It is an honor to meet you, for I have heard tell of your great deeds.
Yes, I've heard of the great deeds you have done in the service of Middle-earth. I would appreciate your help and your guidance in Mordor, if you would provide it, for I have a task of my own I wish to undertake in the Black Lands. I wonder if he also knows where I come from, because in that case, yes, a guidance of someone who actually has been inside the Darkland might be useful for this. Alright, so he does understand this is a dangerous place. He just has a task here, doesn't care about the treasures. Well, let me guess. If you do take a treasure, could you get a new shield there? That one seems to be in pretty bad shape. I am called Onoth, and I'm a ranger of Ithilien. I walk the woods for Faramir, and will again if he commands it. But my heart urges me in another direction, and my feet would follow. For I'm a descendant of Thandrim, men of Gondor who dwelt within the bounds of Mordor, and kept a watch on the evil that stirred there. The Thandrim built the great fortress of Durthand, the Black Shield, and from its high parapet they kept watch over Udun. Does that have any relation to the literal shield that you're carrying? But in time the watch became less, and their numbers dwindled, and the Thandrim failed. I wish to honor their memory and take vengeance upon the creatures of Sauron that slew them. Will you aid me? Alright, well, I will aid you in what can, and I'm also going to give you a warning from Mithrandir. I do not care for treasure, Pineveer. All I ask is to honor the memory of the Thandrim, for their blood runs in my veins. Alright. Very well then. I'll start the protection by killing some nasty things that are in Udun. Forward! I must admit that this is one place I had hoped not to see again. Well, it's nice to see that it's all in ruins. Yeah, couldn't have happened to a nastier place. Ah, Udun, our first location.
Come, come.
Come. Well, all I can go to is the Slag Hills, but at least that's something. Oh, yeah. Oh, Shadow, too? Good grief. Yeah, because I'm just lucky that I have 8 points of light already, which is probably a bit high for starting out in here. Let's set that up. And anything Stout Axe related over here? While most of the quests here in Udun have absolutely no relation to the Stout Axes at all, In fact, the real Stout Axe stories start in Dora Marth. We do have the story about the potential revolt of the forge workers. Now, as a forge worker within Mordor, I probably know some of these people. Now, in game, they might not have taken into account, but that's what we're here to do, is to find out if any of this stuff was taken into account for a Stout Axe. Hello there.
A riddle has come to us, perhaps of great importance.
A most intriguing riddle has come to us. Perhaps a riddle of great importance. Who can say? A dying Nirnholth, those are the Mordor slavemen, you see, told us of a secret plan among the forged laborers of Udun. Stranger still, it is all arranged in a voiceless code. Now, there is the question is, how well do I know the forge workers of Udun? After all, I am from Dora Marth, so it is possible that I don't know any of the people from Udun, so I might not know their secret language or whatever. But as I said, this is to test and find out. The poor soul could tell us little else before he passed, save that the plan should take place soon. How inconvenient that our captain has not returned, and that he's left no clear orders that we can hold gave us clear orders they were to hold the camp until he did. No, Muhir, I do not think he is lost or in peril. I fear what this plan will be. I fear that it will come and go before there is any chance to find it out. And what will happen if it does? Ah, hey, good Stout Axe. Would you unravel this riddle for me, won't you? Someone must. Now the question is, would he really know that I'm a Stout Axe? And would he want to give me a quest like this? I mean, you'd think if he knew I was a Stout Axe, he would assume that I do know all those forge workers or something like that, because it's the Longbeards that they're mostly known. So I would think he would say good dwarf, actually.
If the whispers are true, there are signal flags understood only by the forge workers.
Now listen carefully. If the whispers are true, there are signal flags placed around the near basin of Udun. Taken together, these symbols are signs understood only by the forged workers of this place, and convey a message. For instance, a half circle might be taken to mean dawn or perhaps dusk, or three close lines might be taken for a meeting. A raised arm might be taken for a taskmaster, and one bent like a snake might be a water or drink. In truth, I know not. If you will go and make a study of these banners, however, I feel certain that together we may get to the root of it, and so discover what plans the lurking dwellers of this place are making behind our backs. It is sure to be something treacherous and harmful to Gondor. All right. I will see what they're planning. And yeah, if he knew I were a Stout Axe, I don't think he would say, hey, let us send one of the former slaves to go and investigate all this stuff. I'm sure nothing bad could come out of that. Anything going on in here? No indeed, Forge Works of Udun. Yeah, this looks like a real nice, fun, nasty place. Well, this is Mordor. Everything's a nice, fun, real, nasty place. That's part of the definition of Mordor. I'm sure if there were a dictionary in Middle Earth, it will say Mordor. Really not fun, nasty place. I think it just... well. Ah, there is an easy way down here. Now let's see if we could find some... Yikes, 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 ouch! Well, yeah, for someone who's been around here. Hello there! You're not a friend, I guess. Oh, well. Either he doesn't know me or he knows me all too well. Not too sure which one. But right now, I think that's not particularly relevant. Besides, I suppose I need to kill a few in order to continue on the Black Book, and the enemy you just defeated was carrying a strange machine part. You ponder if there's more parts in Udun held by the enemies. You probably won't be finishing that on... Won't be finishing that, at least not on video, but at least we are having an opportunity to kill our first creature here. Now, what else do I need to slay? And can I get any light so that I'm not really overwhelmed in this? But I have a feeling that doing anything in Mordor without having light in... Enforcer of Ugrachor. Well, never really liked Ugrachor. He always has a neural net. Were they planning on sending me to Ugrachor or something like that just before I escaped? It was something that I do remember. It was some nasty thing that was a. I think I'd be better off trying to escape and half likely dying than going over the Minas Morgul. That sounds like. Yeah, these guys. Hey, actually, some healing might be in order here. Oh, good grief. This is not going to be easy. It's Mordor. It's never easy. Yes, maybe I should stay in the parts of Udun that don't have the Black Shadow effect. I forgot that. Yes, there are parts of it that don't, because they obviously realized that not everyone is going to have the stuff to prevent it here. And let's get any here. Yeah, it's a lot easier when you don't have to worry about the... Well, okay, I have to RP this. Hello there! Well, okay, fine. Obviously not a friend. Not a friend! Not a friend! Are you sure? Trying to see if I can make friends with the Stout Axes. Well, a bit of an RP there. Turn to the light side. You don't want to turn to the light side. Oh, well. No. I think I'll kill a few more things and get some XP into my legendary items here, which still need a little bit of leveling before they're going to be really useful here in the Dark Land. And when I do so and I get either to the signal flags or to the forges, I'll see you for the next episode of Piney Plays a Stout Minstrel.